Hey there friends, how's it going today? David Potts with Song Notes here, and a lesson today where I'm going to look at America the Beautiful, and I'm going to show you two different ways to approach playing it, alright? The first is going to be what you saw at the beginning there, where I'm going to take an acoustic guitar, I'm going to be in open position, I'm going to combine chords with the melody, right? It's really fun to play whether you're on acoustic or electric. You can have lots of fun. You can do it fingerstyle. You can mix in some more strumming if you want. Lots of good stuff there. And then in part two, I'm going to teach you the same melody but up in... Okay, up the fretboard a little bit. I'm going to play that one on my electric guitar, and again, just show you how you can have fun with that one. You actually can combine these two if you want. So I do have a PDF I made for this. It has all the tabs for both versions, carefully written out by me. It has some lyrics and also some scale positions and some chord charts. Basically everything you might want to have to get going with this one. And also I made a really cool jam track. It shows you the chords. It just repeats through the sequence over and over again, but it shows you which chord you're on in all cases, and then it has a sort of drum and organ in the background, a kind of a soul-inspired backing track. You can use that when you're playing over this. I've been playing it the last couple days. I've probably gone through it 20 different times while using that jam track. It's so fun to play. It's only 16 measures, so even if you make a mistake, you can just keep on going and then it'll start again sometime soon. So all that's available at songnotes.net. That's my website. The link's in the description. So enough talk. Let's get to learning this one, okay? So first up, let's look at the structure of things just so we understand the chords we're gonna be using, because this is a real famous song, a traditional song, you might say. There's lots of different arrangements of this song that different artists have done over the years. Now, my arrangement here is actually inspired by Post Malone. He played this at the Super Bowl about 4 days ago, as of I am recording this, right? It was Super Bowl 58. He did a key of G version, right? Or he used chord shapes in the key of G. He had a capo on. I'm doing no capo. I'm going to use the same chords as Post Malone. So he's the sort of inspiration here. Here is what the structure of things looks like. I'm just showing you this so you understand the lay of the land, okay? Every time you see a chord written, you're going to play one measure, which is 4 counts. And the only exception to that is at the end of the chorus, but we'll talk about that in a second. So really quick, let me just play through this quickly so you understand how the lyrics relate to the chords, right? And I trust you know this song, right? Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. Okay? America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood. Okay, in this next part, it's going to be 2 counts on C, from C to shining, and then 2 counts on D7, right? And then we end on C. So again, with the exception of that C to shining C, every chord we see is just 4 counts, right? And now one more time, just so I can clarify, there are, I'm sure, many different artists who use many different chord progressions over this song, okay? I do not claim that this is the one correct version. Again, I'm going off of what Post Malone gave us here. I like that this is a simple version. It just has these 4 chords or so. So just want to make sure that's clear, right? So now let's get into the tab though and look at how we can add the chords we just played, but add melody notes to get that recognizable melody to things, right? So let's look at this first line here. So whenever you see a yellow note, a highlighted note in my tab, that's going to be the melody note, okay? That's going to be the part that you would hum, right? Da, 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 da. And then the chords are going to be written usually on the 1 count and the 3 count. We're going to do a strum of things here. So let's look at here the first line. We're going to go from a, oh, beautiful for spacious skies. But notice how we're never going to play any notes that are higher on any higher strings than the melody note. And the first measure is a perfect example of this. The melody note is exclusively going to be on the 2nd string here. But that means we're never going to play the thinnest string. And the reason why is we want those melody notes to really stand out to our ear. And by playing, making sure that whatever melody note's being played is on the thinnest string that we're playing, it's going to stand out, okay? So here what we're going to do is play our G chord. Okay, you're going to have to take off that finger off that 3rd fret note in the 2nd string, but then you're going to have to put it back. I actually recommend using your ring finger because you're going to need that to start off the 2nd measure for the D, okay? So if we use our ring finger there, it would be, oh, beautiful for spacious skies, okay? Now in that spacious skies, you could include that open 4th string to get that sort of D root note in there. Okay, all those strums though, you can add them or remove them. You don't need to adhere to what's in this tab 100% of the time. You can bring some sort of artistic liberty to it, so to speak, right? Now, this next part, we're going to go to this D7 here, right? But we're only going to strum through the second string, but then we're going to put our pinky or ring on that second string 3rd fret, right? And then play the D7 again with the open high E string, ring finger on that 2nd fret note of the high E string, and then back to that G, okay? So this first line begins and ends with this G. So you really want to be comfortable with this. Here's what it would sound like in full. Okay, take this as slow as you need to do it. Again, get the tab. That's why I have things written out in the tab form, so you can get it. You don't need to necessarily, go as fast as I'm going here, right? I don't want to go too slow because I want to make this a manageable lesson that we all can sort of understand, what's required to play this thing. But again, get the tab, and you can look at the slow playthrough with the tabs on my website as well to reference this, right? But that's going to be the first line. The second line is going to start the same way, right? For purple mountain majesties. Okay, so far it's all the same. But this next part, okay, we're just going from an A to a D chord. Okay, but again, we're mostly going to be strumming through the 2nd string, never the thinnest string, until we get to fruited plains, right? Fruited plain. Okay, so that second line in full, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. Okay, so that's going to be that there. Now, one quick caveat or quick note, especially for the more musical astute amongst you. You might be saying, hey, that melody, it should be above the fruited plain. Okay, that is true, I think, as far as a few other versions I checked out, but here's the deal. I want to keep this in open position. So what we're going to do is use what I think is an exact perfect 5th below for... Instead of playing that, we're going to do... Okay, I think it generally works just fine here. So I just want to call that out there. But again, that second line, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited. Okay, that jump there to that 2nd fret note on the 3rd string after the syllable fruit is kind of tricky. Okay, now we go to the 3rd line. Now here we have to go higher in pitch, and I want to keep things in open position, but we can't in this case. So instead of doing any weird stretches, what I'm going to do is leverage these open strings. So check out this this first measure of the 3rd line, right? So basically we're strumming strings 2, 3, and 4 open, okay? And then we're going to add this 7th fret note. If you think about it, the G chord, the G major chord, leaves these notes open anyway, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So we can just keep those open here. We want the 7th fret note to ring out. America. Okay, and then we're gonna go to this D. It's really a D sus4. I'm gonna put my pinky down on the the thinnest string, 3rd fret. America, God. Okay, and the same deal here over this D7 major. Okay, a little bit of a stumbled strum there. So let's look one more time. Doing the main strums here on the 1 and the 3 count. This pretty approachable shape here, right? Okay, with the lyrics that would be America, America, God shed His grace on thee. Okay, and then the last line. And crown thy good with brotherhood from... Okay, I really like this next part here. C2, and we're going to slide our C shape up 2 frets. Shining C. Okay. This is a C, right? If you move all the shapes, all the notes up 2 frets, we're gonna get a D major. But the problem is this 3rd string, this is a G note. That's not in the D major chord. So it's gonna sound weird, but it works. It's kind of one of those things that sounds good enough. It adds some character to things, right? And then you're gonna put your pinky down on the 5th fret of the thinnest string. So on this last line, there's lots of pinky on the thinnest string, right? Round I go in, keep the pinky there, brotherhood. You move the pinky to the 2nd string here, right? From C to shining sea. Okay, so that's gonna be the 4th line. And the last thing I'll say too, real quick, you can bring in any kind of playing style you want. You could do finger picking, where you kind of do maybe your index and middle, and then you just use your thumb on the bass note, right? I'm just following the tab here. So you get the idea there. Lots of fun. You also could do a sort of hybrid finger picking, right? That's something you could do too. Check out my lesson on hybrid picking if you want to learn how to play with that style of playing. Again, it's the same melody notes, the same chords. I'm just using a certain picking style. And that's how it sounds when you put it all together there. Now, I'm gonna just play it through one time with the jam track, but if you wanna get the tabs in print-friendly format and you just want a slow playthrough from beginning to end with no talking, with these tabs and the lyrics on screen, that's available as a separate video over on my Song Notes website, okay? So go check that out. But let me put on the jam track. I'll put the graphic on screen here. I'm gonna play along so you can see what this sounds like and you can hear what it sounds like, okay? So lots of fun you can have with this one, y'all. So until next time, my friends, take care and bye-bye.